Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Vibes with Intuitively D. I'm Deanna, your astrologer today. I'm a Western astrologer doing whole sign things. So if you're into Placidus, maybe stay a while and see what whole sign is all about. So it's just, I feel like I'm the astrologer for the beginner and it's just a little easier to understand. Today, this video is all about Mars square Uranus, and I'm sure you've heard so much about it because it's happened before. Like, it happens quite often. And it's squaring Mars in Aquarius will be squaring Uranus in Taurus at 27 degrees and some change. If you're on the West Coast, let me pull up the time real quick. If you're on the West Coast of the United States of America, it happens around 7:49 in the morning. So hopefully you sleep through it. But if you're anything like me, I'm an Aquarius rising. I have already been feeling this angst, this rage, this feistiness. So we'll talk about what this can mean, what it looks like, some themes. I'll read the Sabian symbol because I'm a Sabian symbol girly. I'm also going to give you some ways to incorporate rest as we deal with this very kind of, it can be quite volatile, quite hostile, quite aggressive energy. So just ways to navigate that. And then I will have what this can mean for your rising sign with a tarot card. So please stay, please comment, please like, please share, please subscribe. And let's get after it. So Mars, we all know it's the planet of war. It's an aggressive, it's aggressive, it is aggression, it is wanting, it's our desire, it's how we get things done. We tend to think of Mars negatively, but without Mars, we don't get anything done, right? So it is necessary. However, it can be quite impulsive, it can be quite quick to anger. So when we have it in Aquarius, Aquarius being the social justice, the collective, your neighborhoods, your community, there is this sense and desire to want to change it, to make things quite just and quite fair for everyone. And then we have Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus and Taurus is in its last degrees. I like to say that it's at its death rattle, the way that Saturn at 29 degrees and Pisces would at its death rattle, ending things, breaking things apart. Uranus at 27, it's almost at the end, right? It leaves Taurus in April to move into Gemini, which that's a whole nother topic. But Uranus and Taurus for the last 8 years, it entered there in 2018, has really been it doesn't do well there. It's really been shaking up our security, our self-worth, our safety, our banking, because those are things that Taurus rules. And Uranus is a planet of chaos, liberation, spiritual awakening. So it's quite unnerving in the sign of Taurus. Doesn't do well there. When we put these two in a square, which means they're 90 degrees apart, that is a challenging or difficult aspect. It can be quite shocking to our system. Things about our land, things about fisticuffs about how we want to bring justice to our security, our stability, what's good for everyone. Are people able to eat? Do they have enough resources? Are they able to have enough money, enough funds to really live in their community, out in the world? Are things fair for everyone? And I don't need to get into what that looks like for all of us right now, but we get the vibe of that. It's happening at 27 degrees, uh, which is a Gemini degree. So lots of communication. There could be lots of yelling, screaming, rage, crazy emails, crazy news things, crazy social media things that we're seeing. This is friction between how we want to take action and how we want to um, disrupt maybe the status quo. And I think this might just be we're gonna have to take notice of the things that are just not feeling good in our lives right now. Where do we need to make changes? Where do we need to adjust? Where do we need to let things go? Where do we need to start a new path without having to know everything's in place, right? Because two fixed signs don't like change anyway, um, even though Aquarius is such an innovator, such a big thinker, and Taurus is such a hard worker and can carry things through slowly but surely, Fixed signs don't like change, but these two coming together is like, no, no, no. We desire a change. We don't know how that change is going to look. We probably don't want to do it, but we need to do it anyway. So you've already been feeling it. If you're a fixed rising sign, I know you have been feeling it, especially like my Leos and Aquarius. You're probably on it. I want to talk about the Sabian symbol for both of them because I think it really speaks to the weirdness, the chaos, the possibilities of when these two planets have this aspect. So we'll do Taurus at 28, and I thought I put a little postie. Hopefully I put a little postie. And I don't have my readers because why would I remember those? Actually, so I do have it. Here we go. Taurus at a 28 is a woman pursued by mature romance. And I think I read this before because also this eclipse is going to hit this, not the eclipse. Sorry, guys. I'm so excited about talking about this. This square is going to hit the eclipse degree that we just had. The solar eclipse in Aries was at 28 degrees. This is going to hit that. So there's lots of those themes wrapping up right now. Really being like, hello, I thought we made you aware during the solar eclipse. So I read this already, but I'll do it again. A woman pursued by mature romance. The key word is persuasion. No time like the present. This symbol speaks to appreciation and to the fact that there is no point beyond which the fullness of life cannot be experienced. It also speaks to faith and refusal to accept defeat or loss at the end of a matter. And I think some of us can feel very ho-hum right now, feel very defeated. And with this, it's like if you make some changes, if you can see things in a different way, Uranus and Taurus, you can make things happen. There is no time like the present for seizing opportunity if the potential exists and can be realized. At its highest, the symbol speaks to unquenchable hope, patience, and refusal to recognize limitations. Negative, it's disillusionment and refusal to take a chance or willingness to accept lesser than what is available. Today the accent is on serendipity. I think we're going to have to really be so open to the possibilities of new things. And we're going to have to look very much outside of the box of traditional ways to fix our personal problems or even our global problems. We might be able to find, for example, looking for a new job. You hate the job is not working out, and you know the steps to find a new job, but it's just not working. We are going to have to think of maybe hitting up some friends, thinking looking out of state, out of the country. We're going to have to think outside the box. Starting your own thing. I know that's crazy in these days, but you never know. Anything is possible. And then I'll read your Aquarius at a 28. A tree failed and sawed. Immediacy. And Mars is in this, right? So doing what needs to be done. When we put together this being able to see the opportunities and getting it, and then you need to do what needs to be done. This symbol speaks to foresight, preparation, and ability to quickly grasp what needs to be done in crisis and do it. You're just going to have to do it. Whatever it is. You're going to have to do it. The image of a tree failed and sawed symbolizes practicality and a sacrifice of the lesser for the good of the greater. And we talked about lesser in that other Sabian symbol, right? Don't settle for lesser. The emphasis here is on common sense, initiative, and the wisdom of not waiting until the last minute to get things done. And I think this, because it is a solar eclipse point, because it's such a hard square, that we have seen the comings of this. You have gotten the hints, the signs, you knew this was happening. You were probably just hoping it wasn't happening. It's like when I pull out a tower card, the tower comes out in a reading for myself or anyone else. And I'm like, you already know what you need to do. You've already been getting the signs. You just don't want to do it. So today, at its positive, this symbol represents industriousness and efficiency, or the type of individual who's prepared for any unforeseen emergency or event. The negative is a lack of imagination and creativity and a tendency to do things the hard way. Today, the accent is on being practical. You can find it necessary to sacrifice or use up one thing in order to create something better. I think you're going to have to balance this idea of wanting to do what's best for you and maybe what is best for everyone else. Okay? We just have to be very strategic and maybe even lean into our intuition as well to get on the path to reach the destination, knowing that there's so many paths to one destination that there's just not one. You're going to have to let what isn't like what is not growing, what is overgrown, you're going to have to cut that down and let it go, and then like be ready for someone or something or yourself to just like take the moment when it's what am I looking for? Grasp the opportunity when it's right in front of you. That's not the right saying. So Mars wants you to act. Uranus is saying like, oh, wake up. What do you need to be freed from, and where can you use common sense and innovation to get how to get there, right? Some things that I would do during this transit. Any way you can work the angst, the rage, the restlessness, the that you're feeling right now, do so. Maybe you're taking a brisk walk. Maybe you're lifting heavy weights. Maybe you're in a steam room. Maybe you're screaming into a pillow. Maybe you're punching a pillow. You need to do something to where this is very body-esque. Like you are probably feeling it in your body. I would also recommend maybe like a hot bath. The moon is going to be in Cancer at this time, so maybe like really just showering yourself in water or just like having a deep bath and lighting some candles and saying affirmations to yourself. But this is more action oriented. So if you can do hot yoga, if you can do a jujitsu class, if you can do anything that is going to help you get out this energy of wanting to just do the things, that would be super helpful. I'm a restorative yoga teacher, and I would love to give you some restorative poses. One of my a couple that I would do when I feel this way. I mean, I woke up this morning wanting to rage anyway. So supported fish pose would be really nice. Supta Baddha Konasana, supported reclined, yeah, would be really, really lovely. Even like twist, so spinal twist, just to really wring out the things in our body so we can release a lot of like pent up triggers and trauma and all that stuff that we've been holding on to. Alrighty. The next thing that you will see are what this can mean for your rising sign, and we'll pull a tarot for it. Hi, Aries and Aries rising. This is your Mars square Uranus video. For you, this is happening February 27th. If you from my other video, you know this could be quite rageful, quite feisty. This is happening in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams, and friction with your second house of your self-worth and your material possessions. Maybe there's a friend, there's connections that are just not on the up and up for you, and you're gonna have to realign yourself with better communities, better people, new hopes, wishes, and dreams to make money. You need to you might want to be, that didn't come out right in English. You also might want to, Mars is your ruler, right? And so for it to be in such a, in the 11th house right now, it's like, I'm trying to reach my dreams. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And something's just not quite right. I don't know if it's the people. I don't know if it's the, if you feel like you're not worthy of that. So those could be two things that you are coming into conflict with. If that's the case, I would say this is just a time for you to like get real with yourself and be like, nah, these people are not it. Or maybe I need to invent myself, my new hopes, wishes, and dreams, and find a new community. And that's okay. Let's pull a card. What does Aries need to know for this thingamabobber? What are you? The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. There's just this slowness of maybe not, I think this is really feeling not worthy of making the money, not worthy of it being in these groups that you desire to be in. And we know that's not true. It's a mindset shift. The Nine of Pentacles, you know, she's worked really hard. She's reaping the fruits of her labor. And I just feel like maybe everything you try is just like, dang, I missed out on this opportunity, or I don't feel like I'm worthy of that, or I don't feel like I have the expertise on this. And you're an Aries. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Hi, Taurus rising. This is your Mars square Uranus video. This is happening for you. Mars is in your 10th house of your career, your legacy, your public image. Uranus is in your first house. I know you are sick of that shit. This is really about like, look, is this job going to put up or shut up? Do I want to be here for the long? Could I see myself being a leader here? Do I need to change my vision of what I think my legacy is? Is this job, is this career, is this path even on par for who I am now? Because as we wrap up this Uranus and Taurus cycle for you, excuse me, as we wrap this up, you're not even the same person you were in 2018. So those things might have changed. And maybe this, you've probably been feeling it already. So this is the extra, like, I feel like Mars square Uranus is a foot on the neck or a foot on your back. Like, you think you're the fool wanting to just go off the cliff, but you're like a Taurus. So you don't really want to go because you don't like change. And somebody just comes behind you and it's like, you gotta go. Mars square Uranus is definitely that vibe of like, you've been feeling it, babes. You've been feeling it. So are you going to go? Let's pull a card for you. Lots of reversals. I don't think Six of Pentacles in reverse. This job ain't it. Your money ain't it. You don't even feel like they're supportive in your desires, even if you wanted to grow in the company or grow with another person, because it's also public image. So this can be like if you're in a relationship with someone else, of course, with someone else, with someone, maybe they're not even supportive. They haven't been helping you financially. They haven't been helping you mentally. And you're just like, I've had enough. And it could be over the last year and a half that you realizing like, I don't know, this is it. Um, this aspect, this transit is directly related to the Aquarius solar eclipse. So if anything happened here, this is like wrapping it up. So either you're going to keep on with it or not. And the Six of Pentacles in reverse is like, no, goodbye. Hi, Gemini and Gemini rising. This is your Mars square Uranus video happening February 27th. Mars in Aquarius is in your 9th house. Uranus in Taurus is in your 12th house. Look, please do some deep healing. You have been feeling, and I know you have been feeling this way for a very long time. Things that are coming up from the 12th house is like, we thought we healed that thing. We thought that practice was going to work. We thought that healer was going to work. We thought that therapist was going to work. What about this? What about, and it just, we have to reboot. We have to reboot and explore. Not to mention in your first house, as this is happening, you're going to, sorry. Not to mention that your chart ruler is going retrograde when this is happening, so you probably already feel frazzled. If we're talking about the aspect, it's Mars in your 9th house, which has really probably opened you up to what things could possibly be in higher education, long distance traveling. Maybe this is the time where you heal somewhere else. You heal in a foreign place. You heal during a different modality. You reach spiritual enlightenment somewhere else. Like maybe we can put these two things together and see if that's the vibe. But this is very much that the things that you have been doing are not working. So hopefully with this retrograde, you can be like, you know what? It's not working. Let me see what I can do to make it happen. And I love for you because Aries got this in reverse, and for you, it came out in the upright 9 of Pentacles. You have everything you need to make things happen. I think it's a time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. If this is about going on a healing spiritual retreat, which I actually think it kind of is, then please do so. If this is about just in the early stages, because we are in a Mercury retrograde, so like I know people don't like traveling, but I'm gonna get my ass somewhere, so you can also do it. Just be very careful about the plans and all that good stuff. But I think this is a really lovely time for you to set your sight on reaping the fruits of your labor. You have worked really hard, and instead of like being upset that you're not 100% healed, which we know is not a real thing, why can't we talk about how well we've done in the midst of all the madness, right? How far we've come. Let's do something. Let's learn something new. Let's go somewhere and learn something new. Let's heal in a way that might be different than what you thought you needed. Okay? Okay. Hi, Cancer and Cancer rising. Mars squares Taurus. So Mars in your 8th house squaring Taurus in your 11th house. Deep, intimate connections and your hopes, wishes, and dreams. The people that your finances are tied to and your community, something is at odds. Maybe this is a time where you realize the people that you're in community with actually haven't been on the up and up with like sharing resources or not helping you find. I think intuitively this might be I don't know, it's just really weird. The feeling that I'm getting right now is that somebody said they would help you get a loan, get a grant, go in partnership with you, and then they just kind of fell through. And you're like trying to make it work. You're trying to um get it all together and it's just not working. I think this is a time, the moon, when this happens, the moon will be in Cancer, so in your first house. I think this is more not looking at this emotionally, but looking at it very logically and seeing if these people are worth the time and the effort because they have lied to you. Okay. So if the community you're in is butting up against like how you're making your money or how they're sharing their money with you, it's time to break ties with them. If this is about a relationship, like deep, intimate connection, because that's also the 8th house, and your hopes, wishes, and dreams are not in alignment, like y'all have had several conversations. This is where you think you're going. This is where you want to go. And they're like, no, no, no. I wanna. It's also time to, like I have to tell myself, it's either time to put up or shut up. Okay. So it can be quite challenging. I don't think this is an easy aspect. I think we can all navigate it in a way that can make it less crazy. But I think there is going to be a little bit of like, to it all. I would love to know in the comments the card that the Knight of Cups. Okay. I feel like if this is like people, you were thinking like, oh, people don't emotionally support me. My community doesn't. It's two things. Either when you leave this group, you find a group that really supports you, or you find they come in, other people come in, they really support you because you really like told yourself, yeah, this is not the group, I need to find other people, and the other people who are in alignment with you, they actually like support you. If that's not the case and this is like a partnership, then the person that you're dealing with, and it's like y'all have this conversation and and everything kind of like clicks. Like you were holding back, they were holding back. And when you have this conversation, they're like, yeah, I'm ready to support you. Yeah, here's the offer. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's intertwine. Let's merge. Right? Like I think that can also, so a couple of things can be happen when Uranus is in the picture. We just have to expect the unexpected. I hope nothing but the best for you, Cancer rising. Hi, Leo and Leo rising. I would say you are the star of this Mars square Uranus, but you're not. It's probably Aquarius, but you are feeling the grunt of it as a fellow Leo rising. Oh my God. Hello? Stop it. But this is Mars in Aquarius is in our 7th house, our one-to-one relationships. That could be your doctor, your healer, your therapist, a business partner, your romantic long-term relationship. So like your partner that you're married to, or you've just been with a very long time. And then Uranus is in our 10th house, doing that death rattle in your career, your legacy, your public image. And so this is hitting the eclipse point as well. So whatever kind of like unveiled itself during the solar eclipse in Aquarius, a week ago, a week and a half ago, I don't know, it's all blurring together at this point, can still, this could be like one more, like, oh, and now this thing. So you kind of knew about this thing, but like, did you also know about this thing? Do you also want to talk about this thing? So this is definitely Mars rules your fourth house. Uranus rules your seventh house. So this is definitely like, you know, the relationships. Am I living in this place? Do I want to stay in this place? Do I want to stay at this job? Do I want to stay with this person? Or is everything bugging me? Like, do I need to let something go so I can start fresh and anew? You know, Uranus is the great liberator, and Mars in Aquarius is like, where can you partner with people who are in alignment with, go where, I really feel like Mars and Aquarius in the seventh house specifically is go where you are heard and seen and valued, or link up with people who will hear you, value you, and see you. So this could be like, work is driving me crazy, I'm gonna see a therapist. My partner is driving me crazy, I'm gonna see a therapist. It'd be like, I don't like where I'm living, I'm gonna change jobs. It could be lots of those things happening. And I would say, deep breathe, move the body, talk to somebody, journal, scream into the ethers, but don't let it. And I'm such a lover girl. I'm such a hopeless romantic, even though my romantic life just never, let me never say never, because that's not true. In the in right now, it's just in freaking shambles. I'm forever optimistic about love and new opportunities and freshness. And I'm a Capricorn sun, so I'm like a hard worker. But anyway, this, I'm saying this all to say, you could be feeling very overwhelmed, very exhausted, feeling like giving up. Don't give up. Seek out people who support you, who are authentic, who will let you just be who you are. So then you can bounce ideas off of them, or you could just have reprieve without thinking about all the things that are happening right now, because I just feel like it's overwhelming. And if we can make it to Aries season, if we can make it to Aries season, we'll be grand. Also, it doesn't help that Mercury is going retrograde in your eighth house, but I'm not going to talk about that. Let's pull a card, Leo Risings, and see how we can navigate this transit on Friday, February 27th. Nine of Cups, baby, baby. You see how he sits there very, I have this in the bag. Of course, I was always going to have my hopes, wishes, and dreams. Of course, everything I wanted, was everything I desired, Mars, was going to happen to me. Of course it was. I love this because it's water energy. And at the time of this transit, the moon is going to be in Cancer, which leads me to believe that there are people that are rooting for you, people that are cheering for you, people want the best for you. Seek out those people. If you can stay hopeful, if you can grab the opportunities as they're being presented to you, it might not even look like the path or the way that you thought you were going to get your wish fulfillment. But this is when we keep hopeful, we keep optimistic, we stick with people who are loving, who are supportive, who will listen to us, so we can then sit in front of all our trophies, the house, the career, the person, maybe not even the person, but like just the stuff that we know we deserve, but we have to stay the course. Don't give up. Hello, Virgo and Virgo rising. Saturn, not even Saturn, Mars and Uranus do a little fisticuff dance. Mars and Aquarius is in your sixth house of health. So please take care of yourself. Please take care of your breath. Please take care of your body. Please take care of yourself in a way that maybe is a lot of self love. Because Uranus in your ninth house, I don't know, this is not one of the, at least intuitively, I don't see it as one of like the really challenging ones, but this can be like you want to travel somewhere, but your schedule, like foreign place, and your schedule just won't let you do it, or you're not feeling well. So Virgo, and your chart ruler is going retrograde again. So in your seventh house. So there is something about like maybe people not being on the up and up, and you thought you would be traveling with some people and then their schedules. I think there's just some kind of like mass confusion with schedules and wanting to travel and go places. If that is the vibe, then this is a time where you get very clear with those people and you say, these are my boundaries. And I know you don't have a hard time, but you are like, you do help people to your detriment. Let me be fair. You know, I love a Virgo women, top notch. Um, and you will over help people to the detriment of your health, right? You'll help people fill out their application. Like this could be you helping other people to fill out applications for school or look online to travel somewhere. And you're like, I don't even have enough time for me to do it. So I think this is just time to really set some boundaries. That's the vibe that I'm getting, is boundary setting for you. If that's the case, then please set them boundaries, and like you should be your top priority. No one else should be more of a priority than you are. And I know y'all have a tendency to make other people a priority. Mars is the ruler of your eighth house. So like, I don't know. I just think this is other people really like messing with you and like not being clear. They're not clearly communicating with you. They're just like, no, you can't do this. Or you're like, no, I put my PTO in this summer. And they're like, oh, well, such and such. Well, I'm going back to school. Well, oh, such and such and such. Like, they're just not hearing what you're trying to put down. You're going to have to set some boundaries, okay? Set some boundaries. Let's pull a card for you, Virgo rising. And good luck with the retrograde. I think people are going to show up and show out, and you're going to be like, done. I think this is going to be a big boundary setting time for you. The Hermit, your card. If people are driving you crazy, if your work is driving you crazy, if you're taking too many classes at school, if you can't figure out how to travel, step back. Take a step back, breathe, journal, talk to somebody you trust, meditate on it, and then move forward with your plan. If your plan is to set some boundaries, boom. If your plan is to cut people off, boom. If your plan is to continue on with your life and like people can either get on the bandwagon or they can leave, boom, that's cool. But really, this is your card. It's you. I think there's a time of rest that needs to be had. So if that's you traveling somewhere else, if this is you doing a staycation, if this is you taking PTO and just staying in your pajamas and in the bed watching your favorite shows, then you need to do that because you'll have all the signs there today, Friday, this weekend. So please take care of yourself. All right, Virgos, I love ya. Hi, Libra and Libra rising. This is your Mars, Uranus square video. This is happening in your fifth house. Well, Mars is in your fifth house of Aquarius. Aquarius is your fifth house, okay? Taurus is your eighth house. This is like a really kind of like, in my head, I got that ludicrous song, lovers, friends to lovers. This is really just about like what's going on in your creative expression, what's going on in your dating life, and there is some friction along with your deep, intimate partnerships, maybe even like financial ties that you have to people. Maybe you've been trying to do this creative project and you've had like, you are financially bound to somebody and it's just not working out and you need to cut ties, but you don't know how to cut ties. This could also be like things with your children. Maybe you're in an intimate partnership and things are ending and you have to figure out what to do, like how to navigate splitting the children or splitting the finances for the children. This could also be like if it's just about dating and romance and you want to get a little bit deeper with someone, but there is no, the communication isn't there, or there's like breadcrumbs, and so you don't really know what's going on. I think this is a time to really see what you want, like sit with yourself and be like, oh, I really want this. This is what I want, and then have a conversation with that person. I don't think anything is going to Anything is going to happen if you don't speak your piece. And the card that fell out was the Hermit. So maybe you've really just maybe been isolating yourself, and the person is like, hello, when are we going to have this conversation? When do you think you're going to make good on this project? Or maybe the other person is isolating. You're like, hello, when do you think we can come together to have this conversation so we can work out all the logistics? But someone is not speaking. Someone is isolating. Someone might be hiding. I just want to pull a couple of cards. This is a time for you. Yeah. Do you... yeah. Okay. So we have the Chariot and the Three of Wands. Is there some way that you feel maybe like out of balance? You don't know in what direction you need to go when it comes towards partnership with this person? Like, I don't know if you guys balance each other out. I don't know if you guys have different ideas, but you're wondering, like, where are we going? How is this going to move forward? And maybe it's either you or the other person that's like, I don't really want to talk about this. I think we can figure it out much later. And you're like, no, this Mars, Uranus square is like, we need to figure out immediately because I need to know what to do. I need to know how to move forward with or without you. So can you please say something, or I'll just break it. I'll just do whatever I want. And I'm always going to tell people, we can't be, this is true for myself, and this is why I can tell people, you can't wait for everyone, because it's not about them choosing you. It's always about you choosing yourself, because they're always going to choose themselves. They will always choose themselves. So you need to choose yourself and figure out how you want to move forward in dating and romance, and maybe even a little travel, finding money to do that. Okay. Hi, Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This is your Mars in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus, and I know you are sick of this stuff. I know you are. Just like every other fixed sign, this is a rough go. Whatever happened during that Aquarius solar eclipse, Aquarius new moon solar eclipse a couple of weeks ago, this is kind of like the final activation of that. Is almost the same exact degree. So whatever happened, whatever was revealed there is going to still manifest itself here, and you have no idea where to go and how to move with the new information. Mars in Aquarius in your fourth house really is like, I will say this, I feel like I've said this to Scorpio so many times. Where do I want to live? Who do I want to live with? It is where I'm living emotionally supportive. Do I like the people I'm living with? Do I need to go somewhere else? And the first card that fell off was the Two of Wands in reverse. What are we doing? Do you know where you want to go? Do you know how you want to go? And it's squaring, it's making a hard aspect to your one-to-one relationships, the seventh house. Are people stringing you along? Do you have to like say, this is what I'm doing and I can no longer continue this relationship? Or if I continue this relationship, I have to move here, and there is some kind of confusion or uncertainty. Somebody doesn't want to move. Somebody doesn't know where we're going. You have to really... Scorpio, just like Aquarius, just like Taurus is, just like Leo risings, the writing has been on the wall for a very long time. Maybe it was faint a couple of years ago, but it's been getting more and more clear. You can ignore it all you want. And believe me, I'm not telling you this because I haven't gone through it. Believe me, I am right there with you. You have to listen to the writing. You have to read the writing on the wall. You have to listen to your intuition loudly. And then you have to move. This is such stagnation. I'm not sure which way I want to go, how I want to move. Water energy, totally you. And then maybe your sacral is out of alignment as well. What I can tell you is that this is a very loud transit. It's a very loud transit. And so if you ignore this transit, then like, who we gonna blame? Who's at fault here? It's a very loud transit. You probably know what you need to say. You probably know what you need to do. You probably know where you need to go. You just don't want to do it because maybe you feel comfortable at home. You have these relationships, these one-to-one relationships that feel comfortable and cozy, but it's not getting you to the place where you want to go. This transit on Friday is being like, babes, do you love it here though? Is it feeding your soul though? Let me just look at the bottom of the deck. The Devil. No. No, it's not feeding your soul. You're just bound to the same bullshit over and over again. Hello? It's probably a Capricorn. Just kidding. It might not be. I'm a Capricorn. I don't know why that just... Because the Devil is the Capricorn card. Okay. Hi, Sag and Sag Risings. This is your Mars square Uranus video happening February 27th. This is a square between your 3rd house and your 6th house. Your house of intellect, communication, short distance travel, and the house of your daily schedule, your routines, your mental health, your pets. And so there could be this sense of like you wanting to travel somewhere and like your schedule is just all over the place, or you wanting to get healthy and like maybe traveling to get healthy, or traveling to take like a mental break to rest, relax, and it's just not happening. I think this is a sense of feeling very burnt out, very overwhelmed with life. Maybe there's lots of like emails coming through, text messages coming through, and you're just like, how am I gonna navigate this? The 7 of Cups in reverse. I don't have any choices. I'm stuck in this one place. I'm overwhelmed with life. My schedule's too busy. I can't get out of here. No one is listening to me. This could be with the Lovers. Yeah, there's no one on the same. Maybe you just broke up with someone, or relationships have been shaken up. You had to communicate, and it was just like, done, split. And now like you feel some type of way, like you need relief, a mental relief, physical relief, and it's just not happening because your schedule is kind of wonky. This is a time where you're gonna have to choose yourself. Know that you have the magic. The bottom of the deck is the Magician. These are the 2 cards that came out. Knowing that you are the Magician and you can make anything happen that you need to make happen. It might take some work. It might not be the easiest route, but it's definitely doable. I would say, I'm just going to flip this around because the powers that be don't really like naked bodies, even though it's tarot. There is just this thing that you just are you're going to have to choose yourself. You're going to have to make yourself a priority. You're going to have to understand that if people fell away, it was for some reason. We might not know what that reason is yet, but knowing that you have everything that you need. And also the person that fell away, this could be a family member because it deals with the 3rd house. So like siblings, or female relatives, they might have been like a little manipulative. I don't know if they were, but they might have made you feel like, you were their number one choice. And then to come to find out like, no, they were, I don't know, something behind the back or something. If that's the case, and now you're sad and you have to grieve, remember you are your magic. Remember that you can take little breaks. It doesn't have to be like a flight somewhere. The 3rd house deals with short distance travel. It could be staycation. It could be just a 30-minute drive. It could be your favorite restaurant. It could be something that really helps you feel like yourself. And always know that you need to choose yourself first above all, because everybody else will always do that as well. I hope this helps. Hello, Capricorn and Capricorn rising. This is your video for that Mars square Uranus that's happening on February 27th. Mars in Aquarius is in your 2nd house of money, your earned income, your material possessions, and your self-worth. You might be feeling a little bit like yourself, a little bit more like yourself, especially after all those planets were in your 1st house, right? And then now they went, and then they're going into your 3rd. So like, there might be a sense of like, whew, good, get out of my 1st house, go into my money-making house. And maybe you've made a little bit of money. Maybe you've gotten a raise. Maybe you've connected with people that have allowed you to make a little more, like a little bit cash on the side, which is quite lovely. But this aspect is making a harsh aspect to Uranus in your 5th house, right? And I know you are sick of it. It's been there for 8 years. It's leaving soon. And that's your dating house, your creative expression house, and your children house. So maybe you've had children that are like, eek, or maybe you haven't been able to have children. And like, you're like, when is it gonna happen? I've done all the things. I put so much money into treatments or something like that. That could be a thing too. This is a time for you to like really read all of the signs, really listen to your intuition and see how you want to move. If this has something to do with releasing a creative project, of course we're in Mercury retrograde when this happens, but like if you want to do it and you feel comfortable about it, go ahead and do it. And then if it doesn't work out, you can always revise it and launch it again. If this is about self-worth things based on how you're dating and you feel like partners have not been great, they've lowered your self-esteem, this is time for you to come back to yourself. It's time for you to come back to yourself. With Saturn and Neptune moving into your 4th house, it's asking you like, where do I feel the most safe and secure? Where can I dream and be my most best self with housing, with people who feel like family, with emotional stability? The 7 of Pentacles, which would be very earth-based sign, is like, we've worked really hard. We're planting the seeds. Sorry, the 8 of Pentacles. We have all the expertise. We've really worked hard. We have all the knowledge. So this could be with like dating. You've done all the things that you're supposed to do in dating. You've gotten all the ideas you needed with creative expression. You've taken the classes. You've had a mentor. You've crossed your T's and dotted your I's, and still nothing is coming to fruition. Nothing is coming to fruition. You're not making money off those things. This card says be patient. I know, a Capricorn, be patient. That's a wild thing. It says be patient, and you might have to just wait until after Mercury retrograde to clear some stuff out. If this is be patient, this is not be patient and put up with people's junk. This is be patient and know you're worth the wait. Okay, it's a very different energy. This is not patient waiting for people to continue to BS you or lie to you or breadcrumb you. This is being patient. Know that you are worth the extra time, the extra money, what you are charging. You are worth that. So not to lower your prices, because you have the expertise, you have the you have the knowledge. And the cards are like, no, thank you. The Knight of Cups, I feel like this is a partner that really was just like, I'm going to offer you this, but then not offer you this. And you're like, do I need to wait for this person? Do I not need to wait for this person? Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. Should I wait? Should I not? The Death under that says things need to end. So if this is somebody that's been playing with your emotions in your dating life and making you feel lack, it's time to, don't wait. We have to go. You have to go. And that's okay. You can rebuild. You're a Capricorn. You know how to build again. Especially if they have you feeling lack of money, lack of offers. Yeah, goodbye. Okay, okay. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Boy, oh boy, are you the star of this show. You and Leo rising have been going through it, and I feel your pain as a Leo rising. We have Mars squaring Uranus. Mars is in your 1st house. Uranus is in your 4th house. Uranus is leaving soon. Mars is also leaving soon. So there should be some relief come mid-April, May. This is very much, do you like where you're living? This is going to create a T-square for all the fixed rising signs. Do you like where you're living? Are you in good contact with people? Do you like where you're working? Do you have good, solid one-to-one relationships? Do you want to change? The call is coming from in the house. I think you really want to let everyone know, this is who I am right now. This is what I desire for the space that I live in. I want it to look like this. I want it to feel like this. This is who I want here. This is who I don't want here. And then this affects your one-to-one relationships, because maybe you're living with a partner and you're like, no, thank you, actually, the Judgment card. No, thank you. I need to speak my piece. You want to say the things, all the things, okay? And if that's the case, then say the things. This could be for career as well, because remember, when something affects our 1st or our 4th, it's going to affect the 7th and the 10th house. It's affecting your will, your angular heart, your angular houses. So it just makes your wheel turn. So just because this is only happening in the first and the fourth, excuse me, I think I might have said seventh. If it happens in the first and the fourth, it's going to affect the seventh and the 10th, which is our one-to-one relationships and our career, our public image. So maybe you're telling people I'm moving. Maybe you're telling people I broke up with this person. Maybe you tell this person like we got together, we're getting married, we're moving. There can be lots of like letting people know. Whatever you tell people, it's neither here nor there if they accept it. This has been a long time coming, whatever you say. Judgment just doesn't happen overnight. If this is someone judging you, like, I can't believe you're doing this, tell them to go F themselves. Unless you've been a little delusional and they need to bring you back down. But I don't think this is that. I think this is like you have something on your chest. Yeah. Maybe you got into a fight with someone. Maybe they were like there was mental anguish. For me, it's always been the Five of Wands has been a card of like mental conflict. It could be, of course, verbal and physical, but like it's always for me, lots of mental conflict going on. You wanting to say the things or not ready to say the things. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. And maybe you've been blind to the things that have been going on, and maybe you haven't been blind to them, but you just didn't want to address them. The Eight of Swords says we need to stop ignoring the craziness that's going on behind us, the deception that's going on behind us, the manipulation that's going on behind us. She can unbind herself at any time. She's actually not bound by that. She can get loose. And so if you're conflicted about how to move forward, of how to tell these people, like, I don't want you living here. I don't want to live here. I'm going to move. Those kind of things. You're going to need the courage. Use this time as a space to be your most authentic self. This transit is asking you to be your most authentic self so you can get, be on the right path for your future. We think so many things are happening in the spring and the summer for Leo and Aquariuses that we can't get caught up in other people's BS. Okay? Hi, Pisces and Pisces rising. Excuse me. This is your Mars square Uranus. Video. Right now, you are probably frazzled AF, right? Saturn and Neptune are finally out of your first house, but of course there's still like remnants there. But now every inner planet is moving through your first house, and Mercury at this time of this video is going retrograde in your first house. So there's just a lot. Like, it could be super lovely because Venus is there, right? But geez Louise, you feel like you need a break. Mars and Aquarius in your 12th house, Uranus and Taurus in your 3rd house is very much this this conversation of like, do I take a short distance trip to heal a little? Do I take a healing short distance trip? I've been going through so much. Do I travel to another land? Do I rethink my therapist, my therapy? What have I learned during this, maybe my Saturn return or this time where Saturn and Neptune are in my first house? And do I start teaching people about the things that I've learned, which can be quite like nice actually? Have I learned new healing modalities that I would like to teach, or do I want to learn some healing modalities, right? I think all of those things can be true. And I think you might have been like, I don't know. Yeah, I love it. The Chariot is like, I don't know which way to go. I think I might want to be like a Reiki healer, or I might want to be into astrology. I want to learn. Like, it's about, I don't think this is a time where you have a clear-cut picture on how you move forward, but you have some ideas. I think this is a time to maybe, as this transit happens, you write down your ideas. Do you want to go to another place? Like a foreign place, somewhere else? There's a lot of like, I want to go somewhere, but I don't know where to go. Yeah, let's take all of these. Yeah, I don't know where I want to go. I don't know how I will get there. I don't know how, I will communicate that. Which path do I need to take? I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so tired. Like, please, somebody else just handle it for me. Look, give yourself a week or two. Remember that this is hitting the eclipse point that just happened in your 12th house. So maybe some things were revealed to you and you're trying to integrate that new knowledge. That's absolutely okay. I don't think this is a time to rush and do anything new. Whatever falls away, just let it fall away. If you are getting downloads or inklings or having really crazy dreams about how you need to move or where you need to go, and you just are like, is that real or is it not? Write them all down. Maybe you talk to a teacher, you talk to a friend, a sibling, and then y'all can like kind of figure it out together. But I don't think this is a time to move forward right now. I think we need to end Pisces season so you can see what still comes up as things still transit your first house. And then let Aries season come into play, and then you'll feel like, okay, this is how I'm gonna go, and maybe I can even make some money doing the things that I thought I wanted to do. But I think this is a time for you to just be like, okay, let's see what falls away. Let's see what falls into place. Let's write some things down. Let's chit chat with some people. Let's just put some ideas down and see what we can do until it's now, until Aries season. All right.